Christian music is elevated. Some of those songs are really good. I mean, I be listening to them. I actually don't listen to them, but I only listen to them on TikTok. One that I really like is "I Still Bless You" in the middle of the storm. In the middle of
I know this one.
I still bless you. And I'm like, woo! Welcome to House of Maher, a Wave original. We have a few house rules.
Girls are magic.
Reading is hot.
And so are you. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube so you can watch our beautiful faces on your whatever screens you're using. I am the middle sister, Ilona.
I'm the eldest daughter, Olivia.
And I'm the youngest, Ilona Maher. And this week, a huge congratulations to Ilona for your first ESPYs nomination.
Thank you. Very exciting.
That's huge, dude. How did it feel when you heard?
I was like, oh, that's chill. That's really cool. It's funny. It's for Best Breakthrough Athlete, which, I've been playing this for 7 years now professionally. But, sometimes it takes a lot to break through. And I'm happy I was able to do it in my, 7th year playing this. But there have been some great athletes who've got it in the past. So really excited. I've been voting and getting everybody to vote. So we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping to go and to get to just be in the room with some also great people.
Get all dressed up. Show up and show off. What are we thinking?
That's all I like to do. I like getting dressed up. I like, even though it's for sports, bringing the femininity, the beauty to it. And I'm excited. I love being in those spaces. I love getting to meet people who are also like-minded, who've worked hard. And I think this is the first time rugby's ever been nominated in anything. And to be a women's rugby player, how kind of cool is that,
And so you can vote. The link will be in our social bios to go vote for Ilona. You can vote every day across multiple devices. So I'm going to need everybody to lock in and do that because
lock in.
No one is more deserving because that's so true about like you breaking through. You've been breaking in and breaking through for so many years, but it's that same thing. It's like it takes many years to be an overnight success.
I kind of think of it as like best new artist at the Grammys. Like, no one is a new artist. Like the whole thing of Sabrina Carpenter getting nominated after she just had 5-6 albums. It's not that you're just a brand new rugby player. It's just like you've had a breakthrough moment.
True.
A huge breakthrough moment.
True. This is my Grammys.
This is your Grammys. Your ESPYs.
Are you going to like have a speech prepared or how does that work for you?
I don't really know what's happening, to be honest. I think I will, maybe, but then I get worried that if you have a speech prepared, you won't get it,
You're jinxing yourself.
You're jinxing yourself, but also I think that I just would have some points that I'd really want to hit, and so I would have at least some bullet points out there that I make sure to mention.
I love it. Be prepared, but not overly prepared.
You're maybe not like
respectful
a full
of it.
Yes. Well, I'm not one to ever just like read word for word either. So it'd just be bullets so that I can kind of like say things, but also be myself up there.
You're very good, just like off the head brain. And I do that a lot when I have meetings for you where, like ahead of, the panels that you did in France and everything, they wanted to make sure you were prepped and you knew. And I was like, honestly, don't tell her the questions. She's better when she's just ripping away with whatever comes to her brain. So I think that's kind of fun. I think Juju Watkins won this last year.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So this is a very cool award.
Good company for whoever wins.
Yes.
Which hopefully you will win. I'm in there. I'm voting. Vote.
The WNBA just announced that it's going to be expanding to 18 teams by 2030 with new franchises in Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia. How exciting.
Yes! I'm so pumped.
Are you?
I love it. I'm not, okay, I don't watch WNBA. I don't watch a lot of sports voluntarily besides Ilona's. But I love to follow and like see things online. So like watching, having this one league succeed, I think it's a huge thing for women.
Which is great because there's like barely any teams now. So it's so cutthroat because like every year the WNBA has their drafts, but barely, I mean, with only how many teams there are, only 12 players like make a bench or something. There's not enough for these amazing players that are coming out of it. So good that there's more and expanding and also like having great players all over the country,
And they have such short seasons, the WNBA, so hopefully this can also lengthen the season.
That's a good point.
The players are also negotiating for a higher salary. Do you guys know what Caitlin Clark's current WNBA salary is?
I actually do think I know. I think it's like 75K, even though she brings in something like 36 million to her city.
What? You're about there. It's 78.
78. There you go. Yeah.
And do you know what the NBA salary cap is?
The NBA has a salary cap.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought they
so Caitlin Clark's current WNBA salary cap is for a rookie. Mm-hmm. So her rookie salary cap is like 78.
Well, this is her second, third season.
I think there's like your rookie for 3 seasons or something like that.
Okay.
I mean,
but still, what do you think the NBA salary cap is?
So it's different then. Like the WNBA are negotiating to increase their salary cap, which is currently only 250K. That's crazy. So like Caitlin is making 78K. The most that she can make after she's a rookie is 250K. They're trying to negotiate it so that it can be $1 million. The NBA salary cap, I don't know what a rookie NBA salary cap is, but I imagine the NBA salary cap is, what's LeBron getting paid? 300 million? What is it?
It's $154 million.
Yeah.
Which is astronomical. And the women are getting pennies in comparison.
Oh my goodness.
And I would like to give some perspective. I was making that at a nonprofit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
She is getting nonprofit wages
for bringing in that amount of money to that area, to that team, to that. But then she obviously has outside endorsements, right? Like that's where she's making her money, is through her other partnerships and deals, much the same way that you do, Ilona.
Yeah. I mean, she's the same as me. You know, we don't make much money from our sport. I think that what's crazy is that at a time, probably that 78K was actually pretty good. But the explosive rise of the WNBA from even like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, like it hasn't risen to match that. That's been the issue, that they're selling out stadiums. They're getting the fans in. She's bringing in so much money. And yet because of the salary cap, she could only make 78K. Like that's crazy. And she definitely deserves more. But even that's kind of interesting. They're only going to move it up to, so people like Asia Wilson are only making 250K. Like they need to raise that to $1 million. Even then you're like, wow, I feel like they're worth more, which is like soccer players now are getting, money like that. The female soccer players.
So they're currently trying to raise the WNBA salary cap to $1 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
From 250K.
But it'll still be different for rookies? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. Well, I imagine, I don't know if they're going to keep the rookie thing, but our agent Rianne can speak on it more. When you're a rookie, you come in and you're only allowed to like have a certain amount of pay. There's a cap for how much you're allowed to get paid. That's why Caitlin Clark's there. Caitlin Clark should be getting the 250K, the max, but since she's considered a rookie still.
And why do they have the caps for rookies? Is that to protect other players or?
Probably to protect. Salary caps are just such an interesting thing, right? I mean, we see it everywhere that they're in the league that I played for in England and whatnot. I don't really know the reason why rookies are specific, but I imagine it's so that they don't like, oh, well, you spent one season because you were drafted to this team. You spent one season there, but we'll bring you over here for this amount of money. No, it's almost like maybe to get the players to be at their teams for a bit for those 3 years while they're rookie, and then they can start negotiating for pay elsewhere. And the New York Liberty can pay this much, and then, the Sparks can pay this much. I'm not sure. I think that'd be interesting to figure out. Cameron Brink, who is another podcast host on Wave, she hosts Straight to Cam, is, a WNBA player. And I imagine she's on this sort of salary. So like kind of the same as me, we barely make any money in our sport. So all of our money is in deals and we're just wheeling and dealing. I think Cameron Brink has done the most amount of partnerships of any WNBA athlete, something like that. She has the most partnerships. Yeah.
Like deals and brands.
Like deals and brands. She's wheeling and dealing because they have to. She's only making, I don't know, she's only making about 78K or less than that, and she has to work.
It's another job.
It's what you talk about all the time. You can't just play your sport that you love and like make a living. You gotta grind on the side as well, if that is not the thing. Well, if you guys have thoughts on, salary cap and the expansion of the WNBA, let us know in the comments what you think about all of it and what these women should actually be getting paid. All the money in the world.
All the money in the world. They're worth. All right, well, let's touch some grass. Sometimes we take life a little too seriously, so this is our time to step back, really get your fists in the grass. And Olivia, I just saw that you posted a video. When you were in an Uber and they were blasting Christian rock music. How you doing? How you feeling about that?
It was kind of funny because this actually happens to me a lot, where you clock it, where you're like, it's a good song. Like, that's a good, and then you're like, oh, hold up. And you realize it's religious music. But I mean, we were raised Catholic, so we have a certain amount of like, we know the church music in that way. Whereas I'm like, damn, if we were listening to that kind of music, that stuff bumps, you know? But I mean, I made a video because the driver was not a good driver. And just like strong starts, like strong stops. And my just kind of joke was like, yeah, no wonder he's blasting Christian rock music. We're going to need Jesus to take the wheel on this one. This is not okay. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Blasting Christian rock music when you get into an Uber? You could ask them to turn it off for sure if you wanted. But what are your thoughts?
Sometimes you can't tell it's Christian music or religious music. That one song, and he picked me up and he turned me around. Love that. I'll bump that stuff. And like, I wouldn't know.
You know who could be Christian music? Who's the guy that sings Ordinary?
Oh, Alex Warren.
Alex Warren. He could be Christian music.
He's got that little bit of a rasp to his voice. There's a quality to his music.
Not it just the sounds, like even Ordinary. Like I know it's about his wife, but you could swing that in many ways. I think he has a future there as well.
If he needed to branch off in that direction.
There's money in Christian music. Okay.
Apparently.
There's money in a lot of things. Who was it? Caleb, what's his name? Caleb Heron? He's the funny comedian. He did a recent thing where he was like, if you see me doing Christian comedy, mind your business, just know I'm getting my bag.
If y'all ever see me take a turn into Christian comedy,
yes,
keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
I'm buying a private jet.
There's a lot of money in it. There's a lot of money in the church and whatnot. So I just thought that was funny. I'm like, the Christian music is elevated. Some of those songs are really good. I mean, I'd be listening to them.
Production quality. It's
production
good
quality. Yeah. I actually don't listen to them, but I only listen to them on TikTok. You know, on TikTok when they come up, like the one you had. What's the one that I really like is I still bless you in the middle of the storm. In the middle of
I know this one.
I still bless you. And I'm like, woo! Oh my gosh. Amen, you know?
That's so funny. I just love the one that I put on that video, which is the My God Did Not Fail. That shit's like,
that's what I think.
God, I get where these
did not fail.
Okay,
That's my story,
okay, pipes.
my testimony.
Hey.
I mean that'll make you
religious.
That'll make you sway a little bit.
These Christian people are like, God first. It's like, that's just good live music though.
They're listening to that. I would too. When we were in church, we had one lady at an organ.
Right. Hitting that vibrato. She was hitting that.
She's like that lady banging on the bus. That is how she sang, and she was so loud.
You know what I'm talking about?
And so that's like, I almost think it is interesting. Music can like help you with, music is a powerful thing. It helps you with your faith. It helps you with how you think about things. Like, I wonder if in church, one time, you remember in church, in Catholic church, we one time had people who were almost singing too upbeat and they made them switch. Do you remember that?
No.
Somebody was singing, I think it was like that one family was singing something and then they switched back to that one woman.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Drama.
Yes. Because they had like the little egg shakers and like they were finally bringing something back.
That was so good. I was like, what? Are we really bumping in here? And then we went back.
You see people talk about online that were like raised super Christian or, you know, in certain denominations of the church where they were like, I thought that I was so religious. I thought I was so in tune with, you know, God and my religion. But then I went to a concert for the first time and I realized I just like live music, like collective effervescence. Like that's what was making them feel so spiritual, was just connection to the people around them enjoying live music, like the most human thing that you can do. It wasn't about the religion. It was like, oh, I just liked live music, like in a community around that. Like
if we were raised in another church that had more lively music, I probably would have stayed around longer.
Yeah. I mean, I do got to bring up the all-time banger, which is John 3:16.
John 3:16. I knew you were going to say it. Said that God so loved the world.
He gave his.
Oh, God.
Anyway, you guys, this is too much now. Basically, what I wanted to ask on is touching some grass with, high, like, car service, shared car service drivers blasting like Christian music or like conservative radio.
When we were in England and we
Yes.
got into that Uber and the Uber driver had the news up to like volume 70 and it was just like Trump and some other like BBC presenter and we're like, could you turn it off? We were like, and he like got so angry at us. Oh no, you even said, can you just turn it down?
We were like, hey,
and he was
can we
like,
just turn it down? Like we just had a long day of recording and everything. And like we hired this car for the service of taking us from one place to another. And we were like, hey, sorry, sir, could you turn it down or turn it off? And he was like, I was listening to this before you came. What? Hello? You are providing a service though. I was like, what? And I was like, oh, okay, could you just turn it down? He like doubles down and is like, he was like, I was listening to this before you came here. And at that point, you are dropping us off where we live. You're about to find out where we operate and you're talking to us this way. And we were 4 women inside of a car, 4 big, broad, and we felt so small, so gross, so scared. Like, what do you do in that situation? Nothing, I guess, but I hate that so much. You can report it to the company, but like, it's just so scary.
I imagine, I'm not sure etiquette, but I imagine the etiquette is like if you're providing that service for the passenger, they're paying you and they don't want to listen to something or just want you to turn something down, you should listen, you should do it. But then I'm like, oh, well, it's your car, but you're choosing to ride Uber or whatever it is. You're choosing to do Uber. I believe that they should listen to what your requests are. I personally didn't want to hear Trump say
This, that,
shit
and the other
on my ride
thing,
home.
yeah.
We got very silent after that. It was kind of interesting. We just all got silent because like there's nothing, as women times we also like don't want to anger because who knows who this man could be. Who knows if he's gonna all of a sudden, act out. So we have to be almost you almost get quiet. Like what I've been like, I wish if there was a man in who'd been like, no, turn this off. But we were like, what?
And if there was a man in there, he probably would have.
He would have respected that, which is
Right.
what's so extra messed up about it. But it's like, touch some grass, please. Like you are bringing people into your car. One, made us feel unsafe with what he was listening to. Like, and then by reacting that way and doubling down was like so scary. So like, just like connect with reality and touch some grass as a person providing a service in that way. Just like, don't scare the women you are working with.
Now say they're blasting an audiobook. What are you doing?
What's the quality of the book? What's the genre, I guess?
I don't know.
I'm like, you're jumping into a story then. I don't know what's happening.
Right.
That's too much.
One time I was in a car and this Uber driver went really kind of kooky on me and he was talking about like, it's all a simulation. It's all blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what is happening? And again, you get like scared. You're just like, no, for sure, man. 1,000% this is a simulation. The devil, I thought, he'd be working,
I've never heard anything more true.
But you like,
don't murder me.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think you have to, it's almost self-preservation. You have to just kind of like get to where you're going in the chillest way possible, which isn't fun, but who knows how people are.
I mean, one of my top tips is, I never put my actual home address when I'm booking a ride. I do a couple of buildings over or whatever, just to, even if they're perfectly fine, who knows what kind of driver I'm going to get, but just to be so safe. So that's a hot tip. Just do a couple of addresses over and then I'll get out and wait for the driver to drive away before I start heading in any specific direction. Sometimes they're like lingering to get their next ride and I like start freaking out. So it's just me in the street like, God, where was that address they wanted me to go to? As if it's not my house, like 2 doors down. You know what I mean? I'm just like, man, I wish my friend would text me back. I'm just standing on the sidewalk waiting for them to go. But that's a hot tip. Never put your like actual address in there. This episode is brought to you by Opill, the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill available in the U.S. Did you know that nearly half of the pregnancies in the U.S. each year are unintended? On top of that, about a third of women face barriers to accessing prescription birth control.
My friends and I have talked about how difficult it is to schedule an appointment just for a prescription. That is, of course, only if you have insurance. Women face so many barriers when it comes to our health.
But now Opill is empowering women by putting birth control in their control. Opill is a daily birth control pill that's FDA approved, full prescription strength, and estrogen free. Plus, there's no prescription needed. This is a new way to access daily birth control pills, and it's all in the hands of those who need it.
We are huge fans of birth control. It's a resource everyone deserves. Opill is birth control in your control.
Opill is available online and at most major retailers. Use code MAHER for 25% off your first month of Opill at opill.com. That's code MAHER at OPILL.com. Learn more by visiting opill.com.
Speaking of standards of service, I wanted to bring up another thing, which would be something I never really encountered until I moved to Los Angeles, California, which is restaurants that during their daytime service have you wait in line to order, get a number, and then sit down. Have you come in contact with these?
Yes, I have, but mostly in LA. Actually, I feel like the ones I've been to have been in LA.
There's a lot.
I've been
in LA.
to Pine and Crane.
Yep, that's one.
All Time.
Mm-hmm.
And a few others.
Yeah.
And then you put in your thing, and then they're like, and just tip here. I'm like, there's that funny comedian. I know I'm bringing up so many people on this spot, but that funny comedian, I think Robby is her name.
Yes,
Where
Robby.
she's like, you want me to tip 20% on this? At this point, I work here.
What's your take?
If I have to go up to order, I'm not tipping. You know, restaurants are all self-serve. They're all self-serve now. So
0%.
Zero. At this point, I work there.
We all know tipping in America is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's just like, okay, well, I had to do all this, and you still want that?
And for me, it's like, you want to be a restaurant, be a restaurant. Sit me down for the price of food in LA as well. Like the price of a sandwich, let alone, like God forbid you add avocado to it. But you want me to order that myself and then, put tip on that and everything. But then, because I guess my biggest thing is, if you want to be a restaurant, be a restaurant. Because if I'm waiting in line to order and then I have to get my own water from the big dispenser,
Right.
you're a cafeteria. You're
Right.
not a restaurant. And if you want to be a restaurant, if you want to serve restaurant prices, be a restaurant. Give me a waiter. And like, I just went to one yesterday, which is what's on the top of my mind. And the person I was
what was the
dining
name?
with,
Drag 'em.
Drag 'em.
Drag 'em.
highly
Was it
likely
good-
Highland Park.
Was it good food?
The breakfast burrito had whole cherry tomatoes in it, which did throw me. Like, that was not a good sensory experience. I was literally like picking them. It was a business lunch too, and I was like, sorry about this. And I'm like plucking them out one by one, and they're like exploding in my fingers as I put them down on the plate.
Were they cooked or raw?
They were warm because they were inside of this breakfast burrito.
Straight to jail. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. And then what I'm saying is I'm waiting in line in the hot sun. Nobody's coming along to bring menus. Like, so they want you to walk up to the front of the line, grab a menu, come back to your spot in line. But anyway, it's like, for me, the biggest thing is then, okay, I don't have a waiter. So when something is wrong, there's no one to turn to be like, hey, so sorry, could I actually get that ketchup that I asked for? When in our case, the person I was dining with got served the wrong drink. And then the person was just gone. They dropped it and they were gone. And we were like, oh no, and like her drink actually went to somebody else who then was getting up at the same time to go back to the counter, and they had to switch drinks. What are we doing? What are we doing here? We're tipping on that? And it's a cafeteria. That's my thoughts.
There's also there's a restaurant we went to in LA and a couple others. Sorry, LA, roasting you today. But they add like a 4% charge to checks. And their reasoning is, we add this 4% charge because we want our employees to have health insurance. So I'm paying for their health insurance.
So do that.
So how about you help them out now? And they're like, you can totally take this 4% off. Oh, now Carol can't get her dental work done.
Yeah. God forbid.
And it's just include it into the price of the items.
They put it in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're making us feel like a bad people. Like, just include. It's part of running a business. It's providing insurance to your full-time employees.
Right.
Why is that not a business cost? Why is that an additional fee?
Right.
I want to say we all also have such strong opinions on this because we all have worked in the service industry. I've been a waitress so many times over. I've been a bartender. I've been all up and in that grind. I enjoyed giving good service. It was a fun puzzle to hack each table, the people you get to know, like being good at it, remembering orders. Like, I took pride in that work. So I took pride in the tips that I made from that. That is a lot for people though. You are working for tips. So that is a lot. It's a bit of a mental game. But then on the flip side of that, like this double-edged sword, when we were trying to eat in France, they don't work for tips. So they're not going to seat you because they're going to make their money from their salary, whether you're eating there or not. So the restaurant culture was very interesting. It was very French, as Ilona and I kept saying, but they would have all these open tables and be like, we're booked. Sorry. And you'd walk by like an hour later, still completely empty. You know what I mean? But because they're not working for tips, is my thought, they don't have to turn over tables to make their living. They're just kind of like, well, sorry, you don't need to be here. So I think it's, there's no right answer, but I guess I prefer just like an attentive service that I am then happy to pay for.
Okay, fine. Order at a counter. I think I have to be okay with it's not tipping 20-15%. Is it $5? Is that crazy?
Like ordering a drink at a bar. You're paying for
ordering a drink at a bar.
Whatever.
That's even, I'm like $1. But if we're at Pine and Crane, is it, when it turns around 20%, is it putting in your own $6? Right. That's where like I think you have to figure it out and also just be okay with that. It's a whole thing.
I can't trust some of my friends to pay for things. Like if we are getting shots at a bar and you're putting down 20% on a singular shot.
Oh, they're like pouring vodka into a shot glass.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm like, because I've also had some place where you get some crazy shot prices.
Right.
And then I get the Venmo the next morning and I'm like, how is this $40 for one shot?
What happened?
Because they're tipping 20%.
Yeah. I also wonder, when you get wine places, like wine can be $80 to $140 to $200 a bottle.
For a bottle, yeah.
And so why am I tipping 20% on that? You just opened that for me. Were you there smashing the grapes with your feet?
And because that bottle is already upcharged. You that?
Yeah,
from what that bottle is retail.
So even though we're just getting 3 plates, because I got a bottle of wine, it brings the total up to $200+. So then I'm tipping $40, but it's like, actually the wine I feel like that shouldn't be in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we recognize that it is a flawed system and it is not the service provider's faults.
No right answer.
And we do tip.
I'd be tipping.
We like to.
I don't want to be judged for not,
do
so I
tip.
do it.
I do tip, but the wine's
I'm not happy about it.
Yeah. No. And I will say, like, the people at the kind of cafeteria restaurants in LA that, you do get to the counter, they are so lovely. They are like, how are you? As if you're old friends. It's, I think, very LA, and you're like, oh my God, have we met before? They're so nice. So good. It's so good to see you. Like that. So it is always a lovely experience, but it's just the restaurant experience as a whole is not complete in that way for me.
I have one last note on this. I was at Newark Airport the other day. Not the other day, it was a few months ago. And I was grabbing a chapstick from a kiosk thing. The way it asked me if I would like to tip the service workers, I looked around, not a single soul in there.
You were like, there's gotta be. Oh, was it self-service?
It was self-service. I was checking myself out.
Oh no.
And I was like, who's this for?
You're like, I'm being pranked right now.
I hit 0 so fast. I was like, what are you talking about?
Well, ladies, let's take a little visit to the coffee Klatch, see what's percolating in pop culture.
Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci are coming back for Devil Wears Prada 2.
Wow. They really got them all there.
They got them all. And is it coincidence that this comes after we hear about Anna Wintour's, stepping down from the one position?
Wasn't this already in making when this was happening? When was this announcement?
Knew about it.
Was this
2 days ago?
Who put this out?
It was probably just great timing.
Who put this out? Who's responsible? It's very recent news.
Can't wait. I'll be watching.
You love Devil Wears Prada 1, right?
I haven't watched it often. It's not one of my favorites.
I love it.
I do enjoy Anne Hathaway. I think her great work is, Princess Diaries and Ella Enchanted.
To be sure. I love Devil Wears Prada. I quote it all the time. All the time. I think just especially in Why Is No One Ready?
Where are the belts for this? Why is no one ready?
That's my favorite. I do that all the time. And then also, by all means, move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me. I love that one.
I like florals for spring. Groundbreaking.
Question for the group. Who is the villain in that movie?
The boyfriend.
The correct answer is her chef boyfriend, who's a chef and yet serves her the most burnt grilled cheese you've ever seen in your freaking life and is evil the entire movie.
Oh, you can have a career, but she can't?
Was she also, though, working too much?
But it was like she was following her dreams. So, and she was still being an attentive friend, I'm pretty sure. Or was she giving them gifts? Maybe we all got to rewatch this movie before the second one comes out.
But I will be in the theaters. I will actually buy a ticket to watch this in the theaters.
Oh,
feels like
I'll
a
be
good
there.
one.
You know me. I got my movie subscription. I'm in that theater. I went last week because I got to get my money's worth.
You already lost it. AMC won
No.
you over for like 4 months there.
No, I'm making up for it now. Don't worry.
I want to see the new Fantastic Four.
Well, we loved the Fantastic Four from many years ago, the Silver Surfer movie. Remember that one? Jessica Alba.
Did we love that? Are you saying stuff right now?
I watched that movie all the time.
I watched that a lot.
I watched that a lot. Jessica
there
Alba
were some
looks
very sexy people
so
in that.
Oh,
good in that
I remember
movie.
it.
I gotta watch that. I'll watch that tonight then. Let me put that on my list.
And then they like switched
When was the last
powers.
time you think you watched that?
I mean, bunch of years ago, but I watched it a lot growing up. Chris
Yeah.
Evans.
Yeah, right.
Chris Evans, Captain America. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Why are you here and now you're Captain America? Whatever.
Why haven't we watched that recently? That's weird.
I mean, we should watch it again.
Yeah, I'll watch
for-
it tonight. I'll turn it on.
The new one comes
She'll
out.
turn it on.
The trailer does look very cool. The aesthetics of the movie look very cool. It's Marvel. I'm locked in. You know I'm sat.
Ilona, you just watched K-pop Demon Hunters, right?
That was really fun. I highly suggest it. Really good. It was like everything was quirky, well thought out. Songs were great. Singing was great.
Question.
Yep.
What is K-pop Demon Hunters?
Wouldn't you like to know? How about you go watch it? I told you to watch it. It's quirky and funny.
You know I'm watching Love Island right now. I cannot be clocked in on anything else. So what is this? Is it like a game show?
The world will know you as pop stars. You will be hunters.
It's a movie.
Oh.
Animated. Very cool animation, I will say. Like halfway between that sort of anime with classic animation, like not fully anime. I don't want to give the storyline away, but they're demon hunters and K-pop stars.
The title really says it all.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a bit on the nose, but all right. But it's a movie.
The songs are good. Yeah, it's a movie.
Okay, then I can lock in and watch that, no problem.
No, it's very fun. Yeah.
Okay, fun. And is there music in it, obviously, because it's K-pop?
Yes, of course.
Speaking about Korean pop music adjacent, KATSEYE out with a bunch of new music. What are our thoughts? Yes. Hands off, Gabriella.
I love KATSEYE. Do I stream their music? Not really. Am I all over the socials? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
love
have
that.
been
Good job.
streaming Game Boy
Oh,
and Gabriella. I like Game Boy a lot.
Gabriella is such an earworm. Like from the first time I listened to that, I was like, ooh, that's going to be with me. I really like that one.
Personally, I'm not over Gnarly.
Not over it.
Love that.
Okay.
It was tough at first, and now I get it.
I get it.
I get it.
Took a few listens. Now I get it.
The dance is so cool. They do an amazing job on social media. They're very on it. They get it. With the dancing, the single cams or the following one person throughout the dancing and whatnot and get to know them. Do you have a favorite member?
Megan. It's my bias.
Really?
Love that girl down.
Really?
She's weird, but I love her.
I really enjoy, is her name Daniela?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love her.
That girl can dance.
She's a
She
great
can
dancer.
dance.
I like her facial expressions too.
She does a great facial,
like,
she does a great
wow.
performance while dancing, and she's an unreal dancer. So
Yeah.
I think
100%.
she's very cool.
Do they have a song called Mean Girls off their album?
EP? Yes.
Oh, what's
just
a,
released?
What's an EP?
You know, an EP is kind of like almost like a mini album where it's oftentimes I think artists put out EPs as a way to like delay an album. So when they get more fans from all the EPs and their debut album does better. I don't fuck with all the EPs everywhere. I'm like, put out an album.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I asked about the Mean Girls thing because didn't they have a member that you really like, Olivia, what's her name? Who she's now Adela. She's her own artist. Wasn't like Mean Girls a thing from that too?
I'd love to explain this.
Please.
Adele has a song in which she says like, because she got labeled a mean girl after the documentary. And I think it might be just like kind of a coincidence, because in the KATSEYE's Mean Girl song, they're talking about all sorts of girls, like mean girls, queen girls.
Oh, right.
So it's like how every woman, no matter what they're labeled as, is like beautiful and worthy.
Aww.
I particularly love, they've got a line, God bless the Tea girls and all the in-between girls. So they're really just like, it's such like an all-encompassing song for women. It's so wonderful.
Oh, it's an outright like, support of trans people.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, my gosh,
What do they
fabulous.
say? God bless the Tea girls?
God bless the Tea girls and all the in-between girls. T for transgender girls.
Oh,
and
nice.
In between, non-binary, whatever you'd like. People who don't fit into one thing.
Are they getting backlash for that?
I haven't seen any, but the writer or producer of the song has shared online that while he was trying to sell it, a lot of artists wanted it, but they wanted to change that line specifically to take it out, and he refused to sell it to them.
I do like KATSEYE, and that they still, because we grew up watching K-pop, and K-pop can be a very like produced, like they have to all say the right things, they have to all act a certain way. And I've liked about KATSEYE, like even watching them just be themselves with each other, they just like, they like swear at each other, they joke with each other. They're still like being an American, like themselves, which I really like. I was afraid that they'd be more controlled, kind of always, as we've seen in K-pop, but I like that they're kind of still holding on to that and being themselves. I enjoy that about them.
I think they're doing a good job of leaning into that, and capitalizing on the girls' personalities as individuals. Whereas I think, maybe I'm wrong, but when people start to have like their favorites in traditional K-pop groups where they're so regimented, they still have to play a part. It's because the fans are finding the tiniest moments of these K-pop idols' personality on, paparazzi cams or little things they've said on videos, and they find those little bits and they run with it and they become their favorite idols. Whereas I think they're allowing the KATSEYE girlies to just be themselves, and people get to be fully, in this group and getting to know these women.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
What's huge is that 2 of the members have come out as bisexual.
Ah,
and we haven't really seen that in K-pop.
Very exciting.
It is a like Christian country, and even like for the straight idols, like you can't even be seen dating.
Right.
Like it is so
right.
Tight. It is, I don't know the right word, but I'm so excited that these girls are able to express themselves.
And they're doing a ton of promotion in Korea though too, because they're going on all like the shows. Like all the SBS Gayo Daejeon or whatever it's called, like they're doing it as well.
Like
so it's
the
kind of, I
weekly
wonder,
shows.
Yeah, the
weekly
weekly
music
shows. Yeah,
and stuff?
they're doing
Variety.
it up.
The variety shows, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's
Very good. Good for them. Very exciting.
Love them.
good.
They're
them.
changing the narrative, and they're dancing really well doing it.
I think this will just have to lead into a bigger K-pop conversation in one episode.
If you want that.
Let's transition into a little tea time. Hear what's going on in our lives. Ilona, you have a docu-series that has been announced with Hello Sunshine. Congratulations, darling.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you are currently, I'm on this project as well. And we are currently talking to distributors and having conversations on where this docuseries will live. I think it's been a bit of an interesting process, but it's been very cool to have these conversations and kind of talk about what we're doing with this show and the story that we're telling, what's been shot and what we want to shoot.
Yeah.
To kind of get them excited for it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of meetings, going around just kind of telling people like why our documentary is going to be something, people are going to want to watch and why it should be on their program. It's been fun because every time I kind of get to share a little bit more, I feel like you get more comfortable as you do things. And it's been about, not like selling myself, but like there's a story here that I want people to know. And there's a story that I think people are going to love to see. And so I hope other people, brands see that. And I think they will. I think it's going to be, what I imagine is it's going to be a really fun documentary and people are going to want to watch it. There's so much about me that people don't know or that I just don't share. I mean, I am an open book in many ways, but I think there's been a lot, especially this year, that has happened that it's like I haven't put into words or I haven't really shared online. So I'm excited to get that out there for some, because I think especially being an athlete, we're thought of, in certain ways. And this is just another way to tell a female athlete's story.
And I think it's going to be such a fun story because it's going to be a premium sports documentary for sure. We're getting that sports angle, but you are so much more than just the rugby because you have to be. So I think in this, we're getting so much wonderful texture and about you and your life, and not the drama outside, but just like what it means to be you and the day to day and it's going to be fun. It's just not going to be like sports and the grind, and there'll be a lot of that, but it is also fun and the families involved and us being goofy. And
you were recently looking through like old home clips for it, huh?
It was a very fun process because I want to get them. I've been shooting for the past couple of years now. Since Tokyo, I've shot a bunch of horizontal footage, 4K, just on my phone of you when you're doing cool things. Because in my brain, I've always been like, either someone's making a documentary of Ilona or I'll do it. So I gotta have the clips for it. So I've been shooting footage for years now. And so I have it all on this drive that, with Hello Sunshine, I was like, hey guys, guess what I got? Stuff. Because I've been shooting it either whether I was going to make this film or we're going to have an Unreal partner like you.
Yeah.
And so I was doing that. But then another part of that was I wanted to give them home video footage. I think that's really important to your story. We were just home in Vermont recording and you had the cameras with you in your childhood bedroom and, you were crying, you were going through beautiful things and you were just kind of talking and telling stories. And I think it's going to be this really beautiful touch point on who Ilona is and who she was to get to where you are now. So I wanted to make sure that they had actual video footage and not just photos of that time of little Ilona. And a little Ilona alongside her two sisters, alongside her mom and dad, and the community that kind of, built you.
Right.
So I was going through about like 6 hours of footage, maybe it's about 5 hours of footage. And I cut it down to moments of you because there was a lot of other stuff. Ilona never wanted to wear underwear as a child. I think it was a sensory thing. So you got to cut around that where she just was like dress on, no underwear, going down a slide. Legs spread. You know what I mean? I gotta cut around that.
And I'll be real, that's me right now as well.
That's her
I'm wearing a long dress, not wearing underwear. Okay, little Ilona knew us up.
What's that Euphoria audio that's like Maddie knew who she was from a very young age? That's Ilona.
That's me.
Did you know that nearly half of the pregnancies in the U.S. each year are unintended? That's over 2 million pregnancies a year. On top of that, about a third of women face barriers to accessing prescription birth control. But now, O-Pill is empowering women by putting birth control in their control.
Now, for the first time, women don't need to ask permission, don't need health insurance, and don't need any opinions when deciding to take a daily birth control pill. O-Pill is a daily birth control pill that's FDA approved, full prescription strength, and estrogen free. Plus, there's no prescription needed. There's a new way to access daily birth control pills, and it's all in the hands of those who need it.
With O-Pill, you don't have to miss work. You can just go online, no prescription needed.
Or you just turned 26 like me and you're in between insurance. Now with O-Pill, it's the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill. And if I didn't have insurance, I know I still have access to O-Pill. And trust, I already informed all my girls and the group chat about O-Pill.
This is our moment to take back the control of our health and reproductive journeys because O-Pill is birth control in your control. O-Pill is available online and at most major retailers.
Use code MAR for 25% off of your first month of O-Pill at opill.com. That's code MAHER at OPILL.com. Learn more by visiting opill.com.
So that was a very cool process to go and see all of us so little. And there's these clips of me being like, these are my sisters. And there's Ilona going, that's my sister and that's my sister. And we're just so little. And to be seeing what we're doing today as sisters, it was very cool on video once again. But that was also an emotional process to watch us so little and where we were and just like seeing us as just girls in the world for the first time, figuring out with each other, by each other's sides, playing in the living room. And I'm so glad that mom and dad had the forethought to there's a whole segment of dad just rolling on us, playing in the living room, jumping on the couches, running around. We have a scarf that we're like an expensive scarf. Dad keeps going, that's expensive. Okay. Like it's this expensive scarf of mom's that we're playing as if one of us is a dog and we're walking us through the living room, and dad's just kind of being like, yeah, you know what? They're having fun. It's all good.
Yeah.
So it's very special moments that I was able to cut down for the documentary.
I am interested though, because I think this will be, I wonder if it'll feel like invasive, vulnerable. Like, will it feel that way when it comes out? I'm like, ooh, everyone's going to see that. Everyone's going to, judge me or know all of these feelings, and they're going to get to make their opinions about how I feel right now. I do get nervous about that because I have been feeling some ways this year that I'm not proud of, but I feel very torn about. And so people are going to see this online, and I want to make sure like I'm putting, I'm going to be put in a good light because I think I'm a good person, but like, also I want to put the sport on a good light. That's my thing is, this documentary is because we're leading into the World Cup. So I want to make sure the sport's being shown well, no matter, how I'm feeling right now. So I am afraid that it's going to be a very like, going to show everything. It's not going to show everything, but people will get it to really see an inside look about me. And that doesn't worry me so much, but it is interesting.
I think that's an incredibly human reaction and thing to be nervous about. But I almost think too that it is special that you have allowed these cameras in to tell this story of how you've been feeling torn, because that's incredibly human and that's what you're actually going through. And I think that we're capturing it in a very like sensitive way. So I think it's kind of cool to tell this story because it isn't just like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of cliches when it comes to sports stories. And I think you are your own story. And I'm so excited that it's being told in this way, but that's so normal to be nervous.
Yeah. I'm going to be interested when we get to that point where we're like, looking over the drafts and seeing how it is. But I do think I am excited also to just like watch it. And then later on, years from now, I'll show my kids and then show my grandkids. I think it'll be cool.
And then I want multiple seasons. Sorry, I want a season 2, season 3. There's more to be told about Ilona Maher.
I think it will. I think what we are setting it up for this is it leading into that, and then when I, decide when I go back to play for LA, like that's a season there as well to see somebody who's going for hopefully their 3rd Olympics and who had just an amazing last Olympics where they won a medal. That's a story to tell. The pressure on there, the pressure I feel constantly, I think will be a whole other thing to really dive into.
I think in this season and what you're filming, you're talking about something that's very nuanced, and I think you've been describing it in that way where you're getting all the different angles. But I will say there are people who are just going to like not even listen to it and just think what they want to think. But you've been putting in so much work and speaking so eloquently to like actually like describe what is going on and not just be like, like, so you're taking a risk by putting it out there, but I think it's a calculated one, and it's your story, like you have a right to share it.
And you're not the only person that feels like this too. There will be people that relate, and it will be so thankful for you for talking about your truth. And I'm excited for us to find the right partner to bring this story to the world with Hello Sunshine. But on that, which will also be captured on the doc, you are entering World Cup camp soon. And so with that, I would love to know, Adriana, how are you going to spend your time while Ilona's in camp?
I am going to the Hamptons. And I'm going to go watch Ilona play in DC. And sorry. And I will be there to hold her while she is going through this all and give her my support.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I joined World Cup prep July 6th, and it's about 10, 12 weeks we'll be together. 10, 12
That's
weeks.
That's a daunting amount of time.
That's a daunting. I thought 6 weeks for Pac 4 was daunting. I'm even more daunted.
It's 10 weeks away from home. Like anything is going to be daunting with that amount of time. And you're playing a physical sport that's going to be hard on the body and the mental.
Going into the world stage of rugby. That's a lot.
So 10 weeks. I've been doing a lot of workouts, and they're definitely bringing us more in shape. It's like the workouts have been so tough, the running that I've been doing. So that because we don't have a lot of time together. We're not like other countries where they've been training consistently. We just come together for, 4 weeks before the World Cup, and then we have to go at it. So it's very much so going to be a packed schedule. I mean, I think that's what's daunting is like, I know we're going to be doing so much contact. I know we're going to be doing so much running and so much this and this and this, and there'll be like no breaks. And I just hope my body can take that. I am excited. I'm excited to get back with my teammates, get back with the girls. I love them. They've been great. I just like, I'm also somebody who maybe it's in my older age, but I'm no longer that fresh-eyed, like, oh my God, let's go do this together. Oh, we got to go do team building. I'm like, I would rather sit on my own and go out to dinner on my own. So I'm trying to find that balance, right, of like team building versus needing my time away, because it's going to be, we're together so much.
But you have had now, which is revolutionary for you, all new, 2 weeks at home in San Diego.
Yeah, been great.
Oh, luxury. How's that been?
Dude, it's been lit. I have just been working out. I have been getting coffee. I've been going to this one gym that's kind of like a muscle gym, and I just go in there and I just like rep out arms for, and I'm just with my dogs in there. I love it.
Are you showing them up? Like their warm up, your workouts, their warm up, or wait, your warm ups, their workout? Is that what's happening?
Right. I don't know if I'm showing them up, but I have enjoyed wearing, it's not too much clothing, like showing my arms. And I think people, they're sometimes like, who the heck is that big lady? And I'm like, yeah, what's up, dog? It's been very nice. I love it. I love doing what I want to do. I'm trying to enjoy this time because I'm going to be full go. It's been great. I love San Diego. I think it's just a great place. Going to enjoy it while I'm here, and then who knows where life will take me after the World Cup or whatnot.
Love it. Me, I'm going to celebrate the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to be celebrating all of the people in this country that make America what it is.
Okay,
gonna have myself. Gonna go to a bit of a pool party.
Oh, nice.
And then a bit of a country bar in the evening.
Nice. Yeehaw.
So that's gonna be
very fun.
It's going to be me. And then while you're in World Cup camp, I will also be officiating a wedding. So I've been writing my script, getting lots of inspiration. And I keep looking up like ideas or other people's scripts and speeches on TikTok and whatnot. And I keep crying my eyes out. Like, I think it's so beautiful watching these videos, like of these people like choosing to marry one another and like unite their lives. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I don't know where all this emotion is coming from. But so I've been doing that. I want to do as great a job as I can. So if truly anybody watching this has any tips or tricks for me, please let me know. I am all ears. I am all open. But that'll be really good.
If anyone needs an officiant, Olivia is ordained.
I am ordained to officiate weddings. My rate is insane, though. You guys, I don't know if you can.
You can't afford her.
You can't afford my services, but I speak very eloquently. I like to think so.
It's that comms major.
You let me know. I'll do your wedding.
I am intrigued to hear this, actually. So
will it be recorded?
Probably. I imagine they'll have a videographer. But you guys will be my testing ground because
can't wait.
I think it's supposed to be a surprise for the bride and groom.
Yeah.
So I do need to test it on people. So
you can marry Adriana and I.
My 2 unmarried sisters, they will be the ones I am asking for advice
you had to say that. You had to say unmarried. That's crazy, dude.
I can say that right back to you.
Oh.
Mrs. 30.
I'm married to the game. I'm married to the grind. Sorry. I'm in a committed relationship to the grind. So.
Right. All right, ladies. Would you like to play a little game of fair or flag?
Sure. Hit us.
I'll start. Playing music, TikToks, any videos off of your phone in public, loudly.
Flag.
Giant flag. There's no reason for that.
Especially on planes. If you do that on planes.
And on the subway.
I just had a person like 2 seats over from me on a plane just like playing their videos just like out loud.
Nightmare.
Loudly too. And nobody is like calling. What do you do? Do you flag down a host? Because I don't I got to sit here with you the whole time. Do I be like, you're being rude? But how do people not see that they're being rude? Do they just think their experience is better and more important than everybody else's?
Maybe.
Shared laundry, forgetting clothing in a washer or dryer for a long period of time.
In the washer, that's a flag. First off, how could you even do that? It's not going to smell good. You need to move that quickly.
Right.
Maybe in the dryer, it could be fair because you things got going on. But if it is shared, flag in a way because we're all trying to do our stuff.
Flag, and you're just hurting yourself because people are going to move it or it's going to get stinky.
How do you feel about people moving your laundry?
Hate it.
I hate it, but again, it's your own fault. I do think that there should be like a buffer zone.
Right.
I set alarms.
Yeah, well, you guys are very good at your laundry. You guys set alarms and get there right when it's done.
I say hate it because I hate other people touching mine because I have an alarm, like you say. I'm on it and I am there. There's no reason. If it's because you're waiting by the thing for the buzzer to go off and then I'm there a minute later, you better be freaking for real. Don't touch my stuff. So yeah, setting alarms for yourself. I mean, but like then again, if you forget every once in a blue moon, that is so okay as well. But mostly flag.
All right, what about eating breakfast at 7-Eleven while traveling internationally?
Why would that be a flag? A hoe's got to save money.
And 7-Eleven in other countries is like a cool experience to do.
Yeah, I don't think ever even if it's a 7-Eleven here, shit, you got to eat something. A good thing you're eating breakfast.
Hell yeah.
Most important meal of the day.
Fair.
I would like to speak on 7-Elevens and
Please.
these videos of people.
Please.
The amount of unnecessary like plastic consumption from these 7-Elevens is crazy work. Like the ice cups but you're getting a drink out of another like plastic cup. And I'm like, then what's the point? There's got to be a better system here. There's so much plastic. Okay, how about one more? Rehearsing conversations.
Fair.
What does that even mean?
Like, you're going to have like a serious talk with someone. And so you practice what you're going to say.
Yeah, fair.
Fair, but then again, sometimes I'm good off of like the top of the head, like we talked about with Ilona. Like sometimes it's better just to like go with the flow for me. Because then if I'm rehearsing too much, then I'll be too in my head. And I'm not actually thinking through the actual conversation that's happening in front of me. Because I'm thinking there's like points I got to hit.
I've written out scripts before.
Whoa. For conversations.
Yeah.
Okay, so fair to you.
Very fair to me.
Fair. Gorgeous.
Thank you so much for coming over to the House of Maher, a Wave original.
Be sure to watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Plus, follow the show on social media at House of Maher for clips and behind-the-scenes content. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.